Yo, Loud, what's goody? Marcus, Jeff, what's good? You need a PG? I need a big man. I'm trying to cook right now, man. We're trying to play their hardest. Last game, they played their hardest, I swear, bro.
After almost 30 years of reporting at New York One, I know New York City never stops moving. There are always new stories to tell. Join us every weeknight for the latest on what's happening across the 5 boroughs. What matters to you and your community? Plus a look at tomorrow's weather forecast so you don't miss a beat. Live at 10, weeknights at 10 p.m. on New York One. Also available on the Spectrum News app. Exclusively on Spectrum.
Hey, right now I'm on beast mode, man. Our last game, that pissed me off, man. I couldn't get a shot. That was my first game, last game that I played. I'm already dogging. Right.
When the right amount of food is hard, the guest here makes it easy. Just tell me it's coming, and once for dinner, then it tells you how much to make. And yes,
What's my PlayStation Network? Is Q Power Game. Can't miss me. I am on. Yeah, I am on. Can you play with me because me and you never run? Pull up, I run it up.
Interested in making the most out of their career. Employees enjoy full benefits, best-in-class 401k, and complimentary services. Spectrum has a wide range of positions available, so find the right opportunity for you. Just go to jobs.spectrum.com and apply today.
Said, why would I pull up? It's my SS1 game. What's your percentage at right now, Marcus? And I can help you wrap up.
Learning languages, cultural immersion. When you work for a station that serves a city as diverse as New York, the main thing is to pass it on. What it means to shit.
Got your playmaker. I see you. 96%. Alright. I'm not gonna be able to help you out right now, but probably tonight. Cause I'm only doing a short stream right now. I gotta go handle something. Probably like 2 more games. Good shot. But add me, Marcus. It's Q Power Game. Don't forget. Good defense.
It happened this morning at the 21st Street Queensbridge Station in Long Island City. A new slate of incentives to get your coronavirus vaccine, starting with the governor, who's announced 15 new pop-up vaccination sites in New York State parks. Get your shots there and get a 2-day free park pass. And if you go to a city-run site, Broadway tickets and gym memberships are just a few of the posts. Mayor de Blasio says there's a lot more coming this summer. It is 5:30, and we certainly have a lot more news to get to on this Monday, but let's start by checking your forecast with Eric Adame. Eric, it's cooler today.
I got you, bro.
Hey there, Rochelle. Nice to see you. Well, we definitely had a lot of cloud cover this morning and some cool temperatures. A noticeable change from how it felt over the weekend when it felt very much like summer. Here's a look at West 96 and Broadway. Got a few people wearing some coats and hoodies, things like that. Temperatures are stuck in the 60s. We'll peak in the upper 60s this afternoon, and then pretty quickly this evening falling back to near 60 and even upper 50s as we head beyond 9 o'clock. Here's a look at the satellite and radar. Just a few scattered clouds still working through. You can see the trend, though. Everything's sinking south. So I think as the day continues on, we'll see some clearing and then maybe mainly clear sky for tonight. The warm air for now has been pushed off to the south, but it will work back in later this week, as early as Wednesday. Upper 60s for highs, 68 Midtown Battery Park for this afternoon, maybe around 70 up in Harlem, 69 Flushing, Woodside, and Jamaica, 68 in Jamaica, that is, 64 Breezy Point for this afternoon. So the warmth and the humidity both return Wednesday and Thursday. That comes with a chance for some showers and thunderstorms, but it looks like we'll cool down again just in time for Memorial Day weekend, and it will start off with a chance for some showers on Friday.
Tomorrow marks 1 year since the killing of George Floyd. His death sparked outrage, protests, fear, and sorrow.
I don't want my last words. I don't want my last words to be like, Mama, I see you. I don't ever want that to happen. I'm only 26. I want to get out there. I want to see the world. I want to make something of myself. I want to get married. I want to have children. I want to spread love to the world. Why should I be stifled because of that? Because I'm black.
That was Kerry Paul, a young man who had met at Grand Army Plaza in Brooklyn. After walking with thousands of protesters for about 4 hours, his voice and his words touched so many that night. And he joins me now to talk about those emotions that he felt and what he's feeling today. Kerry, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Rochelle.
Kerry, I've seen you once since then. A lot has changed since the protests. What do you think is the biggest change so far?
I would say in terms of the general firing people have, in terms of activism or spreading the word or not getting BS'd or not getting pushed over anymore, I'm seeing a lot more fight for people. That's what I'm seeing a lot more consistently now.
That night when I met you, it came after hours of walking through the streets of Brooklyn, and there was actually a standoff at Grand Army Plaza between the protesters and the police, and we were all worried. It just looked like it was going to turn bad, and all of a sudden, there was this great moment between you and some of the other folks who were up front and the police officers, and then everybody went home, but it was an emotional night for you.
Yeah, it definitely was. I think at that point, everyone was just tired. Walking around for so long, police were tired, we were tired, everybody angry, yelling, and screaming to their heart's content as loud as possible. And after seeing so much violence within not just what's happening to what we've been protesting about, but violence during the protests, it's just like at that point, you're like, enough is enough. You just want to try to do as much to diffuse situations because I don't like seeing people get hurt.
You were brought to tears that night. Can you walk me through the emotions that you were feeling? Obviously, a lot of people were traumatized by the image of seeing George Floyd on the ground with that officer kneeling on his neck. But can you walk me through your emotions?
The best way to describe it was heartbreak, anger, frustration. Just because when we wake up, we can't change. There's certain things you can't change. I can't change the color of my skin. There are certain things within your personality or your mindset that you can change, but your body is what you wake up with. You can't change that. And for people to have the hatred that they have and use that hatred as a mechanism and a tool to try to institutionalize and control people, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating because you're made to feel like you don't have a shot from the beginning, and all the emotions I was feeling at that moment in time was just bubbling over from that.
Now, that officer who kneeled on George Floyd's neck.
Hey, for those that unsubscribe, go kick rocks without no socks, man. Somebody just unsubscribe.
What was your reaction when you heard the jury
And I'm gonna triple that.
So, initially, yes, we got that. Words I'm not gonna say, but they got him excited, angry, frustrated. But it turned into like right after.
Hey, I'm gonna play one more game. I'm gonna call it a day because I gotta go handle something.
You can't once in life.
I'll be back on like around 5, 6, or 7.
Two, it's just more about like, all right, well they're saying there's a conviction, but is he really gonna serve any significant time? The most amount of time that he could serve is about 40 years. To me, honestly, that's something like that deserves life or death penalty. You believe in that type of stuff, but it's not. I doubt it. Like, I still have my doubts. It's one of those things that doesn't feel real. Everything felt so obvious to everyone who was looking and saw that murder that happened on TV. And we all still had our doubts as to if this man was still going to get convicted. That's the reality of the world that we live in. And it still was that feeling of mixed emotions for me. Because I'm just like, yeah, okay, there's a conviction, but is there really justice?
All right, well, I know you're going to be watching the rest of this case very closely. The other officers involved are also going to be on trial later this summer as well. Kerry, Paul, thank you so much for joining me today, and it is good to see you once again.
Great seeing you too. Have a great Monday.
Since the death of photographer Corky Lee earlier this year, other artists and photographers have been working to continue his efforts to document and to preserve.
What's good, Domination? Don't be playing like that, man. What's wrong with you? It's gonna make me think you're a hater.
Marks Asian Pacific American Heritage Month.
What's good, Domination?
Take a look at Cindy Trin's work and her passion for the city's Asian American community and for social justice, and it becomes clear immediately.
I think it's more important now than ever to tell our stories, to be heard.
It's a quality she shared with her mentor.
Yo, Xavier, SG. What's good, SG?
Experiences and contributions of Asian Americans, from everyday New Yorkers to protesters fighting injustice.
That's why his work was so powerful, because he did the work that he really cared about. And so that's where I really take from him as well.
Work that also included promoting the richness of Asian culture, taking artists like Cam Mack under his wing.
If I'm here, people don't know who I am.
I'm almost done with school. I bet. Chilling about to pop up. How long you gonna be on for? Oh, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be on for like probably 2 more games, and I gotta go handle something real fast. But I'll be back like around 5.
What you're doing is very important. And can you point out to me, Captain? We need to let everybody.
And I bought this new mascot today. I've had to buy the Spurs one. I'll probably buy me another one too. I don't know. I'm not too sure yet. Yo, what's goody, man?
What up, man? Don't clap us too hard, alright? I'm on the call with my new team.
Alright, hey, are you?
We just started the game.
Are you a supporter to my YouTube channel?
What's your YouTube channel?
It's Q Power Game. Can't miss me.
I'll look you up right now.
Alright, hey, if you subscribe, send me a friend request so that I can run it up in the future.
Wait, what'd you say, homie?
I said if you subscribe to the channel, send me a friend request so we can run it up in the future.
Okay.
I saw. Yeah, 2 more games cause I gotta go handle something outside. But I'll be back though. I ain't gonna lie, today feel like it's Friday. I ain't gonna lie. I know it's Monday, but it feel like Friday. Hey, I'll give y'all a chance. Here y'all go. Hey, I'm gonna give y'all the ball. Bright mounts. Hey, if y'all mess up, I say I gotta go in, bro. Up. Up, LA.
Bro, I just want to know. My first shot, I did a full bar. Okay.
I know how you feel.
Chicken.
I wasn't showing like this on my other guy. That's all. Back up. Hey, GG, fellas. I'm gonna go out of bounds one more time. But if I mess up, that's it. That's all right. Yo, why this mask got eyes so big, man? You see his eyes? They're like slime in his eyes. Oh my god. Look like he on drugs. Oh, that's it. I can't let you shoot no more, bro. Go ahead, cook up, bro. Cook up. Go ahead, eat. Hey, this next game, I feel like we got some sweats. Oh yeah. What's that? I'm about to do an impossible shot. Get ready. GG, bro. Hey, don't forget, if y'all subscribe to the channel, send me a friend request. It's Q Power Games.
Yo, I've been trying to get into stage gameplay, but I don't got no big.
Hey, bro, they gonna set screens. They're gonna be behind. He gonna be behind screen. Just stay in the paint, bro. I'll pick up on the screen.
Yo, what up?
Yo.
Yo, what's good? Oh, that's Trudy. What's good, Truly?
Huh?
Okay.
You go crazy? How y'all doing?
Man, doing good. You got
That's artist Jerry Ma, walking through the streets of Chinatown on a mission, delivering red envelopes used for gift giving, a Chinese tradition, with $250 inside to small businesses.
I know it's been a tough year, so
This all started when Ma, whose own family owns a struggling business in Morningside Heights, started a Kickstarter campaign to publish his graphic novel called The Monkey King, A Chinatown Odyssey. Rather than give away items as incentives to donate, his stretch goals, as they're called, ask that the more money raised, the more he will donate to small businesses in Chinatown, which have been severely impacted by lack of tourists and the growth in racism against Asian Americans since the pandemic began.
since the book is about Chinatown, I kind of wanted to get back to Chinatown. You guys are actually, it wouldn't be possible without program, but I really need it.
In addition to Pearl River Bar in nearby Soho, where Ma had an art show last year, Jerry stopped by a favorite restaurant, Hop Key, where we met up with manager Peter Lee, who was thankful for every little bit of help.
No tourists, no people walking around, employees are not willing to come back to work, so it's a difficult situation.
Ma also stopped by one of his hangouts, Asia Roma on Mulberry Street, where owner Mei Chan said help is good. Even small business loans don't make up for the losses of the past year.
I want to be here.
Good defense.
I want to be here. Not when I'm forced to be out.
When one recipient asked if they had to do
Why?
anything to receive the money, Ma simply said, just stay open. In Manhattan, Roger Clark, New York 1.
Alright, that's a shot of uptown, uptown, uptown. That is input. Alright, when we come back, more news from across the city, including Manhattan. We saw it there, and it is definitely a cooler start to the work week, but things will heat up again by Wednesday. Your forecast is next.
There is so much pointless suffering in New York City, and it breaks my heart. I'm Andrew Yang, running for mayor of New York City. We need direct cash relief
I
because
think that's
no one
fine.
should go hungry in our city. We need to get schools open so kids can learn and parents can get back to work. We need a people's bank because it should not be so expensive to be poor. We need new leadership that's a break from the politics of the past that have been dragging us down. Chief by Yang for New York.
In today's edition of Meet the Candidates, Scott Stringer. He grew up in Washington Heights, and as a city comptroller, I looked it up. It's like CFO. He fought for tenants' rights and marriage equality, was an early critic of stop and frisk, and was called a climate hero. So if you're looking for a better planet for kids, vote Scott Stringer. Endorsed by the United Federation of Teachers because
Oh,
he's
you
a
got it.
progressive, ready on day one. Paid for by MI for Kids Inc. Night, Sarah. Night. Drive safe. Thank you. Okay.
You guys ready?
All right. Good block.
After the crash, I'm wondering, am I dying? Then what about my kids? After the surgeon predicting a long and difficult recovery, and the terrifying thought that my job and livelihood, I just don't think it can happen to you.
The law firm of nba2k21 has successfully advocated for the rights of thousands of accident victims. So talk to us by calling 1-888-736-2298 or learn more at nba2k21.com.
Oh my god. Hey, GG, fellas.
Sunscreen for more information. From the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Here's your weather on the one's forecast. This is an
Almighty.
looking toward the Empire State Building.
What's good, Almighty? How you
those clouds
doing?
have the upper hand for a good part of the day. We'll tend to see some sun breaking through, so we'll call it partly sunny as we head toward the evening hours.
Hey, this is my last game. I'm gonna be back on like in 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours. I'm gonna handle this business real fast so I get that over with.
And then for tomorrow,
Got done with school? Hey, that's what's good, bro. Hey, I'm gonna be on a little later. Hey, GG to ya.